It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
Thank you for tuning in to the Sean Widmer Podcast. Hi, welcome aboard. We need to address a message I got 2 days ago? We need to address that. We need to talk some gaming because it's got to happen today. It's just got to happen today. We've got some comments we need to get to as well. I actually need to open up seanslife.com comments and see if there's anyone on there. Or just Garrett this year. Garrett has owned 2026. I know Ian had his one comment, but Garrett has owned 2026 on seanslife.com's comments. They might get named after him. Miguel, you might need to come in there and swoop in and steal some of the spotlight from G. I need to see if there's anything on YouTube here to get into the comment world with, and then we can be good to go and take off. There is. No, there is not. I'm sorry. There is not. Okay. Let's talk about a comment, though, I got over on Instagram. Every now and then, if you follow me on social media, I'll take something from the podcast, I'll cut it up, and I will make a little clip and throw it up there to kind of just promote the podcast, let people remind people that this is happening, that if this is something they once liked, that it is still going on, if they wanted to come back and check it out, or maybe somebody new who's never listened can come in and try to enjoy the podcast. And hopefully those of you who are listening regularly are finding some entertainment in it. So, and I do one of those, and the last one I did was about the green banana discussion from Monday, where it's just happening too much. We are ordering our grocery pickup, going to get it. The bananas are coming back so green, I can't open them. And my son is going nuts because he wants these bananas that are unopened. And I'm like, why are you sending me green bananas? Send me ripe bananas. So many comments on this, so many thoughts on this. First of all, to the guy on TikTok that said there is a button that you can click for ripe bananas. I looked at the Sam's Club app for way too long, falling for your tomfoolery. There's not. So don't say that, because that got me excited. And then there wasn't. So liar, liar, pants on fire, hanging off the telephone wire. You are wrong. And I thought that was going to be the comment that bothered me the most. But this is where I'm at, everyone. This is where I'm at. It's what gave me my anxiety in radio. This is the comment I get from CoreDog24 on Instagram. That I'm like, what are we doing? And I don't know if it's tongue-in-cheek or not, because there's no emoji at the end, winky face. But I talked about doing our grocery pickup, getting the green bananas. You know, I'm unloading the groceries, and I'm taking a thing of bananas out of the trunk of the minivan. And I'm like, why do they send home green bananas? And CoreDog24 said this: next time, go in and pick your own food. Don't be lazy. Got him. You got me. Yep, that's what it is. That's what it's based on. That's what our grocery pickup is based on. It is strictly based on the maximum laziness that we can have in this house. Now, obviously, CoreDog just saw the video, and this is a fair, assessment. Well, I don't know if the assessment is fair, but it's a fair comment based on that. If you listen to the podcast episode, you know I'm not a grocery pickup guy at all. I need to feel the aisles, the tile of the aisles on my feet. I love going in a grocery store. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world. Is going to a grocery store. I would never do grocery pickup. Well, I would very rarely do grocery pickup because I love going into grocery stores. Now, my wife loves grocery pickup because, and it's not, trust me, my wife's not lazy. It's for efficiency's sake. We got 3 kids. We've got 3 kids. We both work full-time jobs. There's not really a whole lot of windows that are just going, hey, come spend an hour. Let's go spend an hour in the grocery store. They just don't exist. Do I wish they exist? Does my wife wish they exist? Yes. I'm sure there's a lot of you who wish they exist. They don't. And I definitely don't want to take my kids into the grocery store. That's a nightmare. So there's an option. It's called grocery pickup. And for efficiency's sake, for laziness sake, it's real nice. Because you've got your busy day, you've got everything planned, you've got basketball going on, and there's this moment where there's a 30-minute window between basketball practice ending and really needing to be home to get the kids in bed so I can lazily parent and try to get my kids the necessary sleep for the next day. And so in that 30-minute window, it's nice to know if I need groceries we can do a little thing called grocery pickup where the kids are in the car. I drive by the store, they throw the groceries in the car, and I'm out of there. And it is really nice to do. Now, you do have to, I know maybe Cordog doesn't know this, you do actually have to go onto an app and physically pick out your groceries. Like, you have to click through them. There's not just a randomize button and you just click, give me random groceries today. And they do that for just ultimate supreme laziness. Next time, go in and pick your own food. Don't be lazy. It's an unbelievably, ridiculously stupid comment. I mean, it just is. It's really bad. It's a bad comment. And again, this is coming from somebody who is a defender of going into grocery stores. I will plant that flag and die on the hill of going in the grocery store is a top 5 experience in your day-to-day life. I just love it. I got to go today. On my way into work. I need to re-up my apples for work. Yeah, I know. Pretty exciting. I need to re-up my apples for work. I love having my apple snacks in the building. So I've got to do that. And so I know for a fact I'm going to go in and I'm going to get to walk in the grocery store. I'm going to get to pick out my apples. I'm going to get to look around, look at the end caps, see what kind of cool stuff's out there. I love it so much. I love it. I'm going to do it today. But when it's grocery pickup time and it comes around, I'm going to be there and I'm going to enjoy it. So there you go. That's what we're dealing with today. That's what we're coming into the podcast. That's the energy that was brought. Next time, go in and pick your own food. Don't be lazy. Yeah, good. Okay, good one. Let's talk about this. I was talking to Ryan and Scott yesterday, and we were talking about some video game stuff. And this is going to be a two-parter. I guess it's kind of my Kelly's What Are You Into early. Grand Theft Auto 6 is set to be released in November of this year. It's my favorite video game franchise. The franchise. I love the franchise. And my most played video game is Final Fantasy XIV, and I love the Final Fantasy video game franchise a ton. But Grand Theft Auto is for sure my favorite video game franchise. I love it. I've played it since day one. Literally since day one, I've played it. Well, that's not true. Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2, the top-down games, I only played Grand Theft Auto 2, and then I played Grand Theft Auto 1 way later. But I played Grand Theft Auto 2 maybe a year after it came out. But starting with Grand Theft Auto 3, when they dropped down to what we all know Grand Theft Auto to be now, that third-person view, I got it day one. We're going to talk about that in a second. But Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out. I was talking to Ryan and Scott. I've been trying to rekindle the flame in my heart for sports video games because there's a time in my life, that time is all of the 2000s into the early 2010s. The zeros to the early 10s, I love sports video games. Loved them. And they would be some of the games I'd be the most excited about every year. And we were just taking a walk down memory lane, Ryan Scott and I were, because we all played these games the same, where we'd create players, put them on a team, try to run that team through the league and win a championship. Sometimes having these players be the greatest players, godlike players, where it was just automatic wins. But a lot of times making them like very average players and rookies and trying to build their stats and make them great NBA All-Stars and win or MLB All-Stars and win championships. I used to love sports video games. I haven't played them in 10 years, at least 10 years. And I was talking to Ryan Scott about it. I was like, I would kind of love to have one last run at one of the sports games and get really into it and just dive into that world that we used to play all the time, which was that wonderful land of make-believe. Now, I have hopes that one of my kids is going to get into video games and they're going to fall in love with a sports video game, and I'm going to get to slowly relive some of that excitement, the young brain excitement through them. Very excited about that. But for now, I got to do it myself. So we were talking about sports games, and this was great. And then Ryan was like, do I need to get a PS5? And I was like, yeah, of course you do. And he's like, I think I need to get a PS5 for Grand Theft Auto 6. I said, well, you absolutely do need to have that. Like, you have to have that. And then he was like, you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to try to beat all the Grand Theft Autos starting at number 3 before he gets GTA 6, which could be a while if he doesn't have a PS5 by the release date. But he's going to try to do that. He's like, that'd be a fun thing to try to do this year is relive those games. Now, that will be tricky because Grand Theft Auto 3, not super long. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, not super long. San Andreas is a long game. Grand Theft Auto 4 is a decently sized game. And then Grand Theft Auto 5 is huge. So there's a couple big games in there in terms of length of time to beat these games. And inevitably trying to do side quests, it's going to be a good chunk of time. But they're extremely awesome games. And I know someone's out there going, what about Liberty City Stories? Mainline games. So that would be, 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5. Those would be the ones to try to beat. No DLCs, okay? Just the games. There you go. You've got all the info you need to know about this. I want to try it. I loved those games. So I'm just finishing up Baldur's Gate 3. I'm probably going to finish that by the end of the week. And then once I'm done with that, I was going to go through Cyberpunk 2077, but I think it would be fun to go back, at least beat Grand Theft Auto 3, get that under my belt, and maybe try to do this with Ryan. Now, it got me thinking in the video game world. I was going back in my brain to Grand Theft Auto 3. And this game came out on my birthday in 2001, October 23rd, 2001. I bought it. I skipped school that day. I skipped work that day. I worked at the video game store. I skipped both those things, and I went and got GTA 3 at the second the video game store opened. I was in the store. I used the key to the store to be inside the store while Frank was opening. Was it Frank or was it Marlene? Who was it? Doesn't matter. Might have even been Walter. Someone else was opening the store, and I was in the store waiting for them to open it, helping them open so that I could just get the game when UPS came and leave, which I did. And we played Grand Theft Auto 3. It was a great time. This is a great time of life. The fall of 2001 when that game came out was a great time of life. We're going to talk about that time of life in the video game world because I think there's something going on there. But that time of life was great for me. I'm living with Preston and Michael up on the South Hill in Spokane. Never saw Michael. Probably for the better at that time in my life. And so Preston and I are having a big time. We're kind of finding our sea legs as adults. I'm 19 years old, and we're just kind of living that life of we're no longer high schoolers, and we're kind of on our own. And we were paying for all our own bills, and you're figuring out how healthcare works, and you're doing all these things. You're also not making any money, and so you're trying to survive on whatever you've got. But for some reason, it's the greatest time in the world. You look back and go, "Did we have food? I don't know if we had food. There's no way we had good food." And maybe there's not everyone can relate to this. But if you're a guy who was like me in your early 20s, late teens, you'd go to the store and every now and then you'd buy one of those steaks that when you the only way you had in the winter to cook it, you didn't have the grill outside yet. And so you just had the frying pan, and you'd put one of those steaks on the frying pan, and your entire house would be so filled with smoke that it was always setting off a fire alarm. And I think that's about 3 years of most guys in their late teens, early 20s lives. It's a lot of frozen pizzas, mac and cheese, noodles, and then a lot of these steaks that just set off smoke alarms. Steaks and frying pans. It just never worked. And I don't know, we didn't have YouTube at the time to Google how do you properly do this. We all just did it the same. And we just murdered pans and just set off every fire alarm known to man. So, it's that time of life. I had my first girlfriend in the fall of 2001. You got those memories. Preston and I are not spending any money on anything else, but we're saving money so we can drive to Seattle and go see Blink-182 in a concert in that fall. We're going to the bowling alley in the middle of the night because we got nothing else to do. We've got people showing up to our house to hang out starting at like 12:30, 1 o'clock a.m. Paul Takasaki is rolling into our house at 1:30 a.m. to hang. And life was crazy, right? You didn't know if you were going to sleep on the couch, the floor, or your bed. You didn't know. It's a magical time of life. People are coming over and parking on your grass. Why? I don't know, but they are. Andy is working at, not current Andy, old Andy, is working at Papa Murphy's, and every now and then he's closing, and when he's closing, anyone who doesn't pick up their pizzas, he's bringing them to our house, and we're diving into those things. We're hoping those last us for a week. Great friend to have. We're skateboarding a little bit. down these weird. There's a school, a little elementary school down the street, in the afternoons and evenings we're skateboarding there. That was probably hardly dangerous and concerning. It's a great time of life. In that fall, though, Grand Theft Auto 3 comes out, and it is one of my all-time favorite video games. It's one of my all-time favorite video game moments because the game comes out. I was very excited about this game leading up to it. Every time a video game magazine, EGM or Game Informer had an article on it, I was buying that magazine so I could read it, because the internet wasn't what it is now, so you're not really going online and reading articles about GTA 3. Although it is kind of in this gray area where there are previews of the game coming out, and there are QuickTime videos that take about 3 hours to download for a minute trailer. And it's worth it. It's worth jamming up your phone line for 3 hours to get this 1 minute GTA 3 trailer and watching it in QuickTime on a little screen inside of your video, on your computer monitor. But the player, if you want to have any kind of quality of the video, it's actually a smaller video than it would be if you turned your iPhone or your smartphone sideways and, did landscape mode. It's crazy, right? That's the era. So I'm just dying for this game to come out. It comes out, I get it right off the bat, and then people start to fall in love with it. And we've got people coming over to the house playing GTA 3 on weekends, all of Friday, all of Saturday, all of Sunday. We're just playing Grand Theft Auto 3, and you never knew who was going to be at the house. But I know there was a couple times where there's 6 people at the house who are just playing GTA 3. It's a magical time of life. So, what I wanted to say about this, as I do want to get into the GTA games, maybe revisit them, try to beat some of them. Fall of 2001, I think it's the greatest streak of video games in a season, in a month, ever. Ever. I'm going to say ever. And I would love it if you have a better one. And if you do, I'd love to know what it is, because I don't think there's a better month of video game releases than the 4 games that are released in the fall of 2001. Starting on October 17th, Devil May Cry for PS2. An awesome game. Is it a top 50 game for me? Probably not, but an awesome game at the time. Great hack and slasher. I don't know if that's what that's called, but an awesome game. Very cool, very clever. The graphics were great. Devil May Cry kind of came on the scene and knocked some socks off. So you have that on October 17th. The next week, Grand Theft Auto 3 comes out. The next week, you don't even get time to breathe. GTA 3 comes out, all-time great video game. And so you have that. The next week, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 comes out. Right there by itself, that 3-week span is insane. Devil May Cry, Grand Theft Auto 3, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. We all know how good the Tony Hawk games are. And Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 is one of the best video games ever, with an unbelievable soundtrack and just a great game. That's one back in fall of 2003, beating the game with every character so you could unlock their mini skate park video was so cool. Then, 2 weeks after that, Metal Gear Solid 2 comes out. So in that month-long span, Devil May Cry, Grand Theft Auto 3, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, Metal Gear Solid 2. Find me a better run. Find me a better run. I don't think there is one. So, a magical time for video games. Congratulations, fall of 2001. You did it up right. Let's read some comments, and I got to get out of here because it's early and my kids are going to start waking up. I got to get lunches made before they do. Voodoo Jester says this. Since it cut my comment off last pod, my only problem with school pickup lines is those who hold everyone up because their kid is the last to get outside. Okay. UAB Blazers is the coolest logo I've seen. UAB Blazers is a cool logo, Ian. Very cool logo. Really cool logo. I didn't really go through a lot of the college ones. I'll be honest with you. I just did a lot of pro ones. But you say UAB Blazers, I know that logo. Very good logo. Great call. Aunt Byrne, Yvonne says this. I did make a comment. Okay, I missed it. I did make a comment regarding kids' pickup lines and logos. I got to go find it. She said, Mariners and Braves. Did I not read that? Mariners and Braves for her logos. And she has tattoos of them. Mariners logo is great. Braves logo is great. Braves logo is great. Anyhow, I do get semi-green bananas from Costco because they're usually ripe by the next day. It's crazy. So that's awesome. The ones we get, Sam's Club, doesn't have the ones that get ripe. I believe they just have bananas that stay green forever. And we also go through a bindle of bananas in about 40 minutes. So ours don't have a chance to make it to the next day. They don't have a chance to make it to the next section of the day. If we get the grocery pickup in the morning, afternoon is not going to have bananas in our house. If we get the grocery pickup in the afternoon, we will not have bananas by evening. They're just gone. So we need them ripe, we need them here, and we need them 24/7. I actually wish there was just a banana app on the phone where someone was just delivering bananas to us 24/7. That would be ideal. Okay, there's our comments today. Thank you for checking out the podcast. I hope your day goes extremely well. And if you want to get involved in the comments, like CoreDog24, you can hit me up on Instagram. You can hit me up on over at seanslife.com. Comment on Garrett's. Currently, Garrett owns it. Garrett's commenting box. And, of course, YouTube and Spotify as well. Thanks for listening.